Hello and welcome to the channel. Have you ever wanted a two-stage snow thrower that would clean packed down snow that's been walked on or driven on? Or have you ever wished that your single-stage snow thrower would clear those big drifts that the snowplow leaves? Well, the new Ariens Crossover may just be the answer you've been looking for. We're going to go over how this snowblower works, how well it's built, and if it's the right snowblower for you. So let's get started.
Down in the dirt. Been real bad.
When you walk into your Ariens dealer or Lowe's and you go over and look at snow throwers, you're going to see this little crossover. And the first thing that you're going to notice is that it looks like a two-stage snow thrower. It's small. It's only 20 inches wide, but it's got a real tall intake. So it looks like it should handle deeper snow well. But as you walk around it, the first thing you notice is it doesn't have any skid shoes, either on the side or on the back. So you're wondering, what's that all about? Well, this snow thrower is a two-stage snow thrower, a true two-stage snow thrower. In other words, it has a front auger assembly and then a second stage that blows the snow out. But what's unique about it is that the front auger assembly has a rubber strip in the auger. So how does this actually work? So just like a single stage snow thrower, the front auger touches the ground. So it digs into the snow and it scrapes the sidewalk clean. So then it becomes a two-stage where it grabs the snow, throws it into the impeller, and the high-speed impeller throws it out of the snowblower. Scraping down to the pavement is unique. You don't find that in a two-stage. What's also unique about it is the front auger is your propulsion system. As the front auger is rotating, it pulls you along through the snow. So does this work? I haven't had a chance to try it on snow yet, but I've played around with it out on the sidewalks. So I like how the snow thrower handles, and I like how it pulls me down the sidewalk at a normal pace. So who is the snow thrower for? Over the years, I've had a lot of people who live in the city who want a snow thrower that will clean their driveway, if they have one, clean the sidewalk in front of their house, and most of the time the city snowplows throw snow on that sidewalk. So they want something that will cut through that city snowplow slush. And they want a snowblower that will clear out in the area where they normally park their car alongside the road. A regular single-stage snow thrower or one of the new cordless electric snow throwers like you see sitting back here in the corner, they just don't do a good job for that. They're not self-propelled, so they won't pull themselves through that heavy, wet snow. They don't have a lot of power, so they only throw the snow 15, 20 feet at the most. And they won't clear down to the pavement because all of these little snow throwers like this don't have the rubber paddles like the gas-powered ones do. So most of those people either buy a cheap single-stage snow thrower and fight with it, or they end up shoveling. So this looks like this is going to be a good snow thrower if you have that type of a situation. If you get a lot of snow thrown on your sidewalk, or if you get a lot of foot traffic on your sidewalk, this snow thrower is going to be able to eat down through that heavy packed snow and clear right down to the sidewalk. It's also going to be able to handle that snowplow pile that's piled up alongside your curb. It's going to clear that off nicely. and it's narrow enough so that you can get down alongside your car if it's parked in a single narrow driveway. Myself, I'm going to use this to clear off about 250 foot of sidewalk out front of these apartments here. The sidewalk is on an ambulance route, so the snowplows are going to come down through here quite often, and they're going to be running pretty fast, which means that I'm going to get a lot of snow up there on that sidewalk. Plus, we've got some low-income housing on one side of me and the local convenience store on the other side of me, so this sidewalk gets a lot of foot traffic. So that's going to be my test this year with this snow thrower, to see if it will keep that sidewalk clean down to the pavement and handle that heavy wet snow that those snowplows are going to give me. An example of someone where this snow thrower would work out very well is my brother lives in the city. His lot is only 25 foot wide and it's 100 foot deep. He has an alley in the back where he parks his cars, but he also parks his cars out front. He's got a sidewalk that runs alongside of the house. So if he's clearing that sidewalk, he really has to move the snow all the way down that sidewalk, the length of the house, and then into his backyard. With a single stage snow thrower or one of these little electrics, it doesn't throw the snow far enough, so he's constantly trying to rethrow that snow, and it gets heavier and heavier as you go along. With a two-stage like this, it'll throw the snow a lot further, so they have a lot less work there. What also is unique about his property is he's on a corner, or not on a corner, he's on a curve in the street, and he has a big, huge tree out front. Well, when the snowplows come through, they don't get very close to that tree. They're afraid they're going to hit it with the trucks. So they always pull out right in front of his house there, which leaves a big pile of snow right in front of his house. So he has to shovel that out so he can park his car there. A little snow thrower like this two-stage with the 18-inch intake, he can easily get out there and he can clean that parking spot off again. Plus, that's a snowplow route again, so the trucks are moving pretty fast. So he's always got that snowplow stuff up on the sidewalk in the front. Around back, he's got basically the same problem. He lives on the T of an alley, so when the snowplows swerve around, he gets all the snow dumped right there in front of his garage. So he doesn't need a big snow thrower, but he needs a snow thrower that'll do the job. And this looks like it would be just perfect for him. This snow thrower works only on hard surfaces. In other words, pavement, cement, blacktop, sidewalks, that type of stuff, because the auger touches the ground. It won't work on gravel because it'll dig up all the gravel and throw that all over the place for you. If you have a smaller driveway, it can be 1 or 2 cars wide, but maybe only 20 or 30 foot long, this is a good choice. It's at 20 inches, it's not real wide, but with those smaller driveways, you don't really want something that's real wide. You just want something that does the job well. The snow thrower is unique, like I've said before. No one else has anything like it. Ariens has had this design before. Probably close to 20 years ago, they had this snow thrower, this type of snow thrower out. The time wasn't right back then. I think now, today, with more people having paved driveways but smaller driveways, this is now a good choice to look at again. All right, so let's talk about the build quality. I've been looking at snow throwers a long time, and it's pretty easy to spot the cheap snow throwers compared to the quality snow throwers. So this snow thrower doesn't cost a lot. The retail price on it is $6.99. I'm sure Lowe's will have it for a little bit less, but they didn't skimp on the quality of this machine. Some of the nice features that you see right away that are standard to Ariens is got a rolled front lip here, so it's nice and smooth. It's very stiff. It's got good steel on it, much thicker than the Chinese brands would use. It has actual welds instead of spot welds in all the right places on it. The sides are stamped, and they're stamped in such a way that it's nice and stiff. There's nothing going to cave in on this one like some of the cheaper snow throwers do. You can tell right away that this snow thrower is built well is because when you grab the handle and push down on it, there's no give in the handles at all. It's just as solid as a rock. This snow thrower feels as good a quality as Ariens high-end snow throwers. It's just a smaller machine. So let's go around and take a look at all the different components of it. Let's start with the front end. Okay, like we talked about, this is an open auger design, and it has steel reinforced rubber auger flights. So the rubber is corded, so it's kind of like a car tire. So it's going to wear very well. It's easily replaceable. It's all bolted in instead of riveted in, so it's going to be very easy to replace when it wears out. Personally, I would expect you to replace this every few years. It's going to be a cheap part to fix, and it's not a big job to change these out. This does have shear pins here, and so it has grease zerks. So make sure you grease that once a year or so. It has a good Ariens top load gearbox in it. So there's no seam for it to start leaking on you. This is 11 inches. The impeller in the back is 10 inches. I know we talk about all the big stuff mainly on this channel, you know, the 14-inch impellers and all that type of stuff. For this size machine, this auger and this impeller is sized correctly. In addition, this just isn't a flat piece down here. Ariens did their design work, and this uses 3 cupped paddles back here on the impeller. So it's going to grab the snow and it's going to get it out very well. It does have a replaceable scraper bar here on the back. It is adjustable, so as it wears, you can bring it down. And that's easily replaceable too. 2, 4, 5 bolts. Put that in. So I'm real happy with the front end design of this. This is Ariens quality design. It's what I would expect them to build. It's just a smaller unit, so the price is going to be less. Moving around, okay, the Ariens Crossover does not have skid shoes. And the reason why that is because the auger touches the ground all the time. The auger not only picks up the snow and throws it to the snow thrower, but the auger pulls you along. If you had skid shoes on this, as the auger would wear, it would become harder to use because the skid shoes would start holding the auger up off the pavement. And that doesn't work with this type of design. So the sides of the machine here don't touch the ground. And even when the paddles are worn, they still won't touch the ground. Does that make sense? That's one of the biggest questions I had is why doesn't it have any skid shoes? To also keep the cost down, they chose not to put any type of mechanical chute or discharge controls on it. Everything is friction. This system is similar to the Toro Snowmaster, the, what is that called, ZXR system. So if you want to turn this, all you have to do is reach up, turn it however you want. Same way with the deflector. Put that where you want. The chute is nice and wide, especially for as small a machine as this is. So it's going to throw snow very well. It's not going to clog up on you. Also, the hole down on the bottom is very large for this little 10-inch impeller. You're not going to have any problems with clogging for heavy wet snow with this one. And it's the Ariens design where this isn't actually square. It's cut out here on the end so you get the most capacity you possibly can. This is also a hanging chute, so it's going to last for you. It's not going to bind up on you when you try and crank it or break on you like a lot of these other inexpensive machines. All right, so let's talk about the engine next. Ariens didn't scrimp on this engine. Yes, first thing you're going to say is, well, it's only 179 cc, but 179 cc is about 5 horsepower. That's all you need on a 20-inch two-stage snow thrower. You're not trying to win any races with this. You're trying to get your job done. And so 5 horsepower on a snow thrower like this is going to be plenty of power for you. You're going to be able to walk along at a nice normal pace and clear your snow. Ariens also didn't go cheap on this engine. This is a good overhead valve, Ariens AX engine. It has a fuel shutoff on it. Do you know any other machines in this price range that have a fuel shutoff? What's nice about a fuel shutoff is that I can use this machine, and then when I get done with it, I can turn the valve off and let all the gas run out of the carburetor. That way I don't have to worry about unleaded fuel sitting in my carburetor, gumming it up, or getting dirt in it. Secondly, they have an electric start on it. Do you know any other machines in this price range that have electric start and this good of engine? Also, it's their standard. There's no throttle on this, but I kind of really don't expect that on this small of a two-stage machine. But it has your choke, it has your run, it has your safety key, and it has your primer bulb. Of course, always remember when you start your machine, put your finger over this hole on the primer bulb so it primes properly. If you have a gloved hand, take it off so this hole gets covered correctly. It's got a decent sized muffler on it and a decent sized fuel tank for a 5-horse machine. You're probably going to be able to get 2 hours runtime with this size tank on a 5-horse machine. One last thing, they put a nice long oil tube on this. And the tube has the flats on it, so you can put your wrench here so you can take your nut off without it coming out of the engine. All right, the other big question that you have about this machine is the transmission. Well, there is none. In fact, let me tip it up and let's take a look at underneath. All right, there is no transmission on this one. Because it's auger propelled, because the auger pulls you through the snow, you don't need a transmission. You don't need automatic steering or anything like that on this. So it has 2 large wheels. These 2 large wheels are nice. They're narrow so that they'll dig down through the snow. There's nothing worse than trying to pull a machine that has wide tires through 3-4 inches of snow. So these will cut down through the snow if you're just moving this around. So it's just a basic set of wheels. That's all it is. It has your normal drive system for the impeller. In other words, the belt comes down from the engine and then it goes to here. It has a brake on the pulley so the auger stops within a couple seconds. It's a very simple system. It's going to work. It's going to last. And this is also a split frame machine, just like the big Ariens. So when you change your belt, it's real easy to change the belt on this. Finally, let's talk about the handles. One thing I always like about Ariens machines is they always put good handles on their snow throwers. They don't wear out over time. They don't get loose. They don't get sloppy on you. This one is no exception. Good heavy gauge tubing. ergonomically designed. It's split so you can loosen these two knobs up here, flip it over, get it out of the way. This snow thrower doesn't take up a whole lot of room in your garage. In fact, it doesn't take up any more room than a single stage. It's only 20 inches wide or 21 inches total wide, so it'll go through any door that you have. Very simple controls. Start it up, want to use it, grab a hold of the handle, pull this handle back, and off you go. You control the speed by just hanging onto the handle. In other words, it pulls you forward, but it doesn't pull you forward that you can't hang on to it. It just does a good job of cleaning, and you can walk behind this at pretty much a normal walking pace. And if you have to slow down, just pull back on the handles and it'll slow down for you. I've tried it on just dry cement and it works very well. It just moves itself along nicely, and if I want to slow way down, it's not a lot of work to hang on to it. I think just about anybody can use this machine, particularly with the electric start. It's not a lightweight machine because it's built well, but it's easy to use. It doesn't take a lot to push down and turn it, and it'll get the job done for you. One last thing on the handles is it is height adjustable. There's 3 positions here that you can put the handles in. So if you're 5'1" or 6'5", you can use this snow thrower. It's really easy to adjust the cable down below to compensate for that. That's one thing that I like about this. It's a very simple 2-stage snow thrower, but they didn't skimp on the quality at all on this. I really like the workmanship of this machine. All right, so what do you think of this snow thrower? It's a specialty snow thrower. It's not for everybody, but it does fill a niche that no one else has been able to fill. Particularly somebody who has a small, narrow, hard surface driveways. I look at it, they live in the city, they get a lot of snow that they have to deal with from the snow plows and stuff like that. This will do an excellent job of cleaning up after the snow plows. Also with the 2-stage, it'll get the snow out and away from where you're working. So if you have a long, narrow sidewalk where you have to throw the snow in front of you for a while, this snow thrower will make that job a lot easier. I like the simplicity of it. Yes, it doesn't have a lot of features that we're used to, like a quick shoot and all that other type of stuff. But do you really need that on this type of a snow thrower? With this type of snow thrower, you're going to take your time. You want to do the job well. So it's not going to bother you to reach up and turn that chute by hand. I'm not going to compare this snow thrower in this video to anything else because it is unique. It's going to do the job that it was intended for. It's going to do it better than anything else there on the market. If you do have a question comparing it to another machine, I will help you out in the comment section below. Finally, if you do pick this up from a big box store like Lowe's, it may be put together for you. I hope that's going to be put together correctly. Typically, they're doing a pretty good job now. If it's not, or if you pick this up in a box, go to the Ariens YouTube channel and they will have an unboxing video for you to show you how to take this out of the box and assemble it so everything's ready to go. There's actually not a whole lot of work done to it. Once you get it out of the box, it's about, at the most 10 minutes to get it ready to blow snow. All right, anything else? As always, if you like this video, please like it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Next up, we're going to go over this little cordless electric sitting here in the corner. And then we're going to revisit the Ariens Deluxe 28 and how that compares to the new Toro 828. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.
Down in the dirt. Been real bad.